Hey everyone and welcome to Green Minimalist Live. Since a few days there's one thing that's been big on the news. The IPCC, so the International Panel on Climate Change, has recently published a report in which they make an alarming statement on the climate crisis. They predict that the climate crisis will happen 20 years already earlier as thought back in 2018. They expect a rise of the temperature of 1.5 degrees Celsius already early in 2030 than in 2050. So when we keep our current greenhouse emissions as it is now, the scientists even expect that the temperature will rise between 2.1 until 3.5 degrees by 2050. Specifically, the panel warns with the drastic consequences of these rising temperatures, like rising of sea level, droughts, floods, or ice melt in the Antarctic. With the rise of the temperature of 1.5 degrees, dramatic consequences are expected of the nature and the global citizens on this planet. Next to the rise of sea levels, droughts and floods, around 70 till 90% of the coral reefs will diminish. This in turn also has consequences on the ocean animal creatures losing their habitats, and also on the people who earn their money. Politics, governments, and individuals have to act now with drastic changes in order to minimize greenhouse emissions as much as possible and thus controlling the rise of the temperature. Unfortunately, the current Paris agreements are not sufficient, so we need to take additional measures. Next to the measure to lower greenhouse emissions, the panel recommends to withdraw greenhouse gases from the atmosphere with a technique called carbon dioxide removal. Both measures in combination, namely reducing greenhouse emissions and the withdrawal of CO2 from the atmosphere, could probably help to control the rise of the temperature. Lastly, the panel sees a cooperating international government's responsibility to apply these measures and to support its citizens on the journey to a climate-neutral lifestyle economy. Maybe also just as a side note, who is the IPCC? The IPCC, so in the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, consists of scientists who assess studies on climate change. It is an elementary body of the United Nations and was established in 1988 in order to give advice to policymakers through scientific assessments on climate change, its implications and potential future risks, and also to suggest mitigation options. The IPCC consists of 195 members of the United Nations and the WMO. An important output are the assessment reports for the governments worldwide and for international negotiations with the aim to tackle climate change. These assessments are of course transparently reviewed and objectively by experts and governments. So I'm interested in your thoughts about this report. Just let me know in the comments down below. So that's from my side today. If you like this video and channel, don't forget to click on the subscribe button. See you next time.